know what you are.
Say it. Out loud.
Vampire.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, we have the brand new Colourpop collaboration with Twilight. I purchased the entire collection, literally the entire collection. This was not gifted to me in PR. I paid for the full thing. So you guys want to see what my thoughts are on this collection. Is it actually worth it? Well, then definitely keep watching. Alrighty guys, so last week when Colourpop announced that they had a Twilight collection, y'all, it about broke the internet. Seriously, this sold out in record speed. Like I think it sold out like in what, 2 or 3 minutes, completely sold out. Everybody was super pissed off on Colourpop's Instagram. I mean, like legit, if you were just scrolling through while you're taking your morning shit, you would see all the comments of people just really upset with Colourpop. Well, then they went ahead and they released it on Ulta's website. Now, from what I saw, I could be completely wrong. This is just what I saw. It's a lot of mixed information. But they were supposed to release the collection at 12 p.m. Central Time on Ulta's website on Sunday the 14th, but apparently it actually released at 12 a.m. Central Time on Ulta's website. So again, it sold out rather quickly. People were very, very upset. And then Colourpop did announce that they were doing a restock. So this should be restocking at some point. I don't know, but all I know is that this went completely viral. Colourpop has not sold out a collection in a long, long time. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. I have a lot of thoughts on this collection because I'm a diehard Twilight fan. I have been a diehard Twilight fan since I was in high school. I got first introduced to the book when I was in 11th grade. And I'll literally never, ever, ever forget reading the book Twilight. No one knew what it was. I was in my AP literature class. I picked up the book. Like I bought it at the store. Didn't really know what it was. I was reading it in my AP literature class. And I wasn't even listening to what the teacher said. And all I know is that she said, all right, everybody, there's going to be a pop quiz. And she looked right at me and she said, but not for you. And I was like, why? It was like, well, not for me. She's like, you're the only student that has 100% A, so you can keep reading your book. And I was like, say less. I literally devoured the entire book that day. And then I read it multiple times waiting for New Moon to come out. I have been obsessed with it ever since. And then when they did the movies, I was like, the first one sucked ass. I hated the first movie so badly. I feel like it was done so poorly. Hated everything about it. But the second, third, and fourth, and fifth, I absolutely loved. I thought they were fantastic. So, needless to say, I'm a huge fan. And when I saw that Colourpop was doing this, I got super, super excited. So, with that said, let's zoom on in. Let's start playing with these products. And I'm going to tell you guys all about it along with my thoughts. Alrighty, so here we have the Twilight Palette right here. Now, I absolutely do love the outside packaging. I think the outside packaging is beautiful. It really does remind me so much of the first movie, like aesthetics. I think it really hits the vibe. Same thing with like the unicorn right here. I love this. So like if you kind of tilt it, you guys can see like a nice little sparkle. Very, very, very beautiful. Definitely has the feel of Twilight. Then when you open it on the inside, you are going to have like this cool tone, muted green and blue palette. Now I will say, as a diehard Twilight lover, I initially saw this and I was like, this is not Twilight. Like this is not Twilight at all. But let me see it in person before I make a full judgment. And now looking at it right here, I still don't see Twilight. Like I still don't see Twilight. Yes, I feel like the color scheme completely matches the top right here. So the lion fell in love with the lamb. I could 1000% see how these definitely correlate. They correlate like amazingly well, but I don't see Twilight. I don't get the Twilight vibes, even though it has all the names for like Twilight. I just don't like get the vibe. I don't see it. I do not see it at all. So we're going to go into the shade right here called 17 and we're going to put that in our crease area. Maybe what they're doing is that maybe they have like an ongoing contract with they're going to do all 4 books or like all 4 movies, technically 5 because Breaking Dawn's broken into 2, but I'm just going to say 4. All 4 movies that they're just going to do like each movie will have their own collection, which then I would 1000% like appreciate going, okay, now that makes sense. That I'd be super excited about. If they don't, then I would definitely say I'm a little disappointed with how this palette looks. Like where are Where's the red? Where's the amber color for like the eyes? Where's a good black? Like when Stephanie Meyer described Twilight, she described it as like the forest being so lush and so green with like browns, vivid green. I feel like this is very muted, and I feel like the greens are very muted, and I feel like it's just because they really are matching like the vibes of the first movie. My camera just shut because Co was over there. Vibes of the first movie, which I get, but like, I don't know. I just don't see Twilight with this at all, so that's a little disappointing. But we're gonna take the shade and we're gonna start to just buff this out. But I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you guys did not know, I actually did reach out to Colourpop because I am somewhat on their PR list. The PR list that I'm on with them, I think is like, I'm on the bottom tier. Like I was told that Colourpop is broken down into like 3 tiers. You have the lowest level, the medium level, and the highest level. Highest level, you get every single launch. Medium level, you pretty much get all the big launches with scatter stuff in between. And like the lowest level, you get something every couple months, if that. I think I'm at the lowest level, if that. But I did the one thing I never do. I did reach out and I had asked them if I could possibly get this in PR because I was so excited for this. And they flat out told me no, that they had no more collections to give because they've given it all away to other creators. And I was like, okay, cool, I understand. But I bought the whole collection. I know that a lot of people had a lot of issues buying this collection. I saw online that it was wild how quickly this sold out. It was just... what a hectic launch. It was a very hectic launch. Guys, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. The way that I was obsessed with the books though, y'all, I was obsessed. Like no other book at that time had me in a chokehold the way that Twilight series did. Like legit, Twilight series had me in such a chokehold that when I first read the first book, it's all I could think about. It's all I could consume. Like I was consumed by Edward. I was consumed by the Twilight series. Like I loved every second of the book. I thought it was truly the most fantastic book I had read at that time. And I couldn't get enough of it. Like I was dreaming about Twilight. I was thinking about Twilight. And this is going to be so embarrassing, but I'm going to open myself up and tell you guys this embarrassing little secret because why not? Like, to me, Edward was, that was my boyfriend. I was going to marry Edward, okay? So like legit, there was this Febreze spray way back in the day called like Cool Springs or Cool Rock or something like that. I like 1000% would spray that in my room and I thought this is exactly how Edward smells. Like he smells like this because like she really described the way his smell was in the book and I was just like supposed to be like this most intoxicating smell. So like legit, I was like, this is it. This is his spray. And so I would spray it in my room while I reread the book and I'm like, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed by that. Let's take the shade called Impossibly Fast right here. And we're going to start to put this in our outer V. Now, the reason why I wasn't a big fan of the movie series is I just didn't like how it was filmed and portrayed. It had this really like dark, gloomy like vibe. Like this filter right here, this was Twilight. This was the vibe of the first movie. Kristen Stewart's acting was a little much. Like I don't know, it just wasn't the best. It just wasn't the best. And I really didn't feel the chemistry between the two until like later on. But I just was not that into the movie. And like I feel bad saying this because like it's not his fault. But I also like really wasn't attracted to Robert Pattinson who played Edward Collins. There was something about him that just like, I don't know. I just wasn't attracted to him. But I really loved the way that Jacob looked. I was like, Yes, and yes. But I will say, I absolutely did love the soundtrack for the movie. There was a song called Let Me Sign by Robert Pattinson that was played at the end when he was sucking on her wrist and like looking like really psychotic. And he was playing, they said walk all over, yeah, better say I will wrap you in my arms. Let me sign. The way that he sings the song, one, I really do love it, but like he sang it in cursive and we got such a little tiny glimpse of it and then we never got to hear it again and I was like, wait, this is a really pretty song, bring it back. Okay, so now that we laid that down right here, I'm going to go into the shade called Lion and the Lamb. And we're going to put that shade right next to that. And I did notice that Colourpop did put 2 pressed glitters in here. I know that they did reformulate their pressed glitters, but I'm still not the biggest fan of the pressed glitter formula overall. So I'm going to avoid using those because those are just a pain to work with. But I'm going to lay this shade down right here. I will say this is probably one of the prettiest shades that they do have in this palette. but I still just don't see Twilight. All right, then I'm gonna go into the shade called Ice Cold because I just feel like this would be really pretty right next to that. And then we're gonna do, I think, like a blue underneath the eye to try to somewhat get a Twilight feel. We're gonna put this like right here. I think I might mix a little bit of like Prom Night into that too, just a little bit. Okay, guys, so this is where we are right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera along with my base. The only thing I'm not gonna show you guys today is the liquid liners. They do have 3 graphic liners. They have the shade called Forever, Vampire, and Coven. Now these are going to be their graphic liners. I'm just not a big fan of liners, but it did come in this collection. I wanted to have the full collection, so I did unfortunately buy this, but for me personally, I'm never really going to get a use out of these. I will say the colors are really, really pretty. I never played with Colourpop's graphic liner, so I really couldn't tell you guys the quality of these, but I do like how they have a nice little metallic sparkle to them. I just know realistically I'm not going to get use out of these, so I just wanted to show you guys what they look like really fast, talk to you guys about it, but we're going to kind of exclude this from the review because it's not fair to talk about something that I'm not reviewing. So anyway, let me do the other eye off camera, guys, and I'll be right back. So now that the eyes are on, the face is pretty much on, we're gonna go back into the Twilight palette. I'm gonna take this shade called Irrevocably right here, and we're gonna put that in our lower lash line. I will say about the quality of this palette, it's good. There's a lot of kick up in the pan. There's like literally a lot of kick up in the pan. The quality is really good, but I guess if you're just going to go along with the theme of the first movie, then I can see that this palette is 100% match. But for me, I'm just a little disappointed because I just wanted more. I just wanted more of this palette. I wanted to see the reds, the ambers, like the lush forest greens, browns. Like I just kind of want to see a little bit more than what I'm seeing. They're just basing it solely off of what it looks like to be this exact scene right here. That's exactly what this palette's screaming. But maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, just maybe, they are doing a new moon palette and an eclipse and breaking dawn. Maybe they're doing all the collections, or maybe they're not. I don't know. But the packaging on this is 100% like beautiful. I'll give it to them. I'll give it to them for packaging. All right, then I'm gonna take the shade called Unconditionally right here, and we're gonna blend that shade out. Okay, so then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade called Edward right here. We're going to put that in our inner and outer corner. Now, this is going to be one of those sparkling glitters I was telling you guys about. This is going to have a little bit of a blue tint with like a rainbow reflect to it. And while I will say it's really pretty, it's not the easiest to work with. Like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan of Colourpop's just pressed glitters. I just really don't care for pressed glitters. I wish brands would kind of get away from it. Like, they're really pretty. Like when you see that iridescent shift, but at the same time, they're just a pain to work with. At least in my opinion. Okay, so let's move on to highlighters. So we have 2 highlighters with this collection. We have the shade called Meadow and Vampire Skin. First off, I am kind of disappointed with how the packaging is. I felt like they could have really done like a highlighter called Skin of a Killer. Like my perfect example would be like the Fenty Beauty. This is the Diamond Dust one. Like, look at how this looks. Like, this to me could be like Skin of a Killer. The way that this highlighter is, it's just so full of glitter. It's just so beautiful, and I feel like they could have done something like that, but instead they did their Super Shock formula, which, by the way, I absolutely love Colourpop's Super Shock formula. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but I just felt like they kind of missed the mark when it came to the highlighters and what they could have done. They could have literally called this Skin of a Killer. They could have had these diamond sparkles that just glisten whenever you turn the light or sunlight hits you and really make you look like a vampire. And I just felt like they kind of dropped short on that. So we have 2 different colors. We have the shade called Vampire Skin, which is going to look like so. It is pretty, but it kind of just looks like a white highlighter. And it's going to look like so, and it's going to look like this. And then we also have Meadow, which is going to have like a little bit more of an iridescent shift. So it's going to have like a little pink undertone to it. It's like a little like pinky shift, which I really don't get what this is for. Like, I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. So I guess we're going to go into this one right now because I kind of just want to play with this shade. We're going to see how it is. Like I said, I really love Colourpop's Super Shock formula. Like, their Flexterian highlighter is one of my favorite highlighters. It's so freaking beautiful. So I know it's going to be really pretty in the skin, but like, does it scream the Cullens? Does it scream Edward? I don't know. Like this. We're going to put this right here. It's a little intense. Like, it's a little intense, so it does kind of like shine. And I feel like if I were out in the sun, you'd be like, whoa, there's a vampire. But like, I feel like it also gives me like a little bit of gray cast. You guys see that? I wonder if I mix a little bit of meadow right on top. I might take a little bit of meadow and kind of mix the two. It's not bad, but I feel like it definitely looks like a little streaky across the skin. Okay, so up next we do have 3 lip oils right here. We have Team Edward, Team Jacob, and then we also have Belle's. Not gonna lie, I really wish they would not have done a lip oil. Like, that's just my dog's yawning. I really wish they would not have done a lip oil. I wish they would have done like a matte liquid lip, or like a lipstick, like a really like blood red lipstick to really kind of captivate on the blood aspect of being a vampire. But they did go with their lip oils, which I do feel like a little bit sheer. Maybe they're better off the lip gloss. I don't know, but I really wish I would have gone a different route with lips, personally, in my opinion. But we're gonna try these out. So up first, we're gonna go into Belle's, which is gonna be like this red shade. I'm gonna put this right here. Okay, so this is a shade called Belle's. I think it's a really pretty shade. I definitely could see myself wearing this by itself with nothing else. I feel like it really kind of complements the eye look. Doesn't really have too much of a red undertone to it the way it looks in the bottle. It really shears itself out. It's really pretty, but I don't know, I just really want a blood red. Like, I want a good blood red, in my opinion. Okay, so up next, we're going to have Team Edward. Team Edward. I am 100% Team Jacob. I am Team Jacob. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think the reason why it just gives my lips kind of like a dead look to them. Kind of like I'm freezing, like I'm outside freezing, which I guess would actually make sense in terms of being a vampire because they are like ice cold. So that would make sense for this actual color. So this one actually makes sense to me. But I don't like it. And lastly, we have my man. This is going to be Team Jacob, which is going to be like this black lip gloss. I wouldn't wear this by itself. I think this would be really pretty on like a deep lip. If I did like a black lip, this would be absolutely gorgeous on. Or maybe even like a deep brown lip. This would probably complement it very well. By itself, I don't really know how I feel about it by itself, but at least the formula is really nice. But here we have Team Jacob. Okay, so I think for lips, I think we're just going to go into Belle's. I feel like this is the prettiest one. I feel like it really complements this lip look really nicely. Typically, I use a lip liner. Maybe I can and just lightly line my lips with something pretty neutral. I'm gonna very lightly line my lips. All right, now we're gonna go in with Belle's. Oh, I should not have lined my lips. I should not have lined my lips. That was a mistake. So we're just gonna go in with just Belle's. All right, guys, and this is the final look. Okay, so last thing in the collection is a shimmering dry body oil. I'm just going to put this like right here. Oh, okay, wait, that spreads on way too fast. It drops down. I will say I absolutely do love the scent of this. I think it's really, really pretty. It smells like coconuts. Doesn't really fit the theme in my mind of what I envision Edward smelling like, but it does have a nice little coconut feel, which I guess can make sense because, like, you know, her family does live in Florida. But I don't really know too much of what I would get a use out of this. Like, I feel like this could have been like a liquid highlighter instead, like a really vibrant liquid highlighter. This is just a shimmering dry body oil. I have some of these before that I've gotten from Colourpop. They're not bad, but like I really just don't get too much use out of them. So let's go ahead and dive into what I think of this entire collection. So up first, we do have the Twilight Palette. I absolutely love the outside packaging. I think it's beautiful. I really feel like they hit the mark of like Forks and how Twilight looks. The inside color story, like I love this right here because that is from the movie. Absolutely beautiful. But then we have the palette itself. While I think my eye look is pretty, I don't see Twilight. I just don't see Twilight with this. I did enjoy the formula. I wish I would have gone without 2 of the pressed glitters that are in here, but I just don't see Twilight. Like I don't see it. And I get that like they were just trying to go for the aesthetics of the first movie, but for me, I don't see it. I don't see Twilight on my eyes. I just don't connect to it in the way that I really wanted it to. And that's really unfortunate because I really wanted to love this palette because I love Twilight so much, but I just feel like Colourpop missed the mark. I feel like they could have done so much more. Not gonna lie, and this is no shade to Colourpop, but I feel like if Glamlight were to have done this collection, Glamlight probably would have slayed and killed this collection. They would have had amber, reds, luscious greens, blues, blacks, light browns. They would have honestly killed the aesthetics of the Twilight palette. They maybe would have matched more the book and like the colors mentioned in the book versus the movie. I'm not really sure, but I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. Nothing bad with the formula, but just generally, I just don't see Twilight. I don't see it. I don't see it. Next, we do have these two highlighters. While I absolutely do love the Super Shock highlighter formula, I think it's incredible. The highlighters are just, they're pretty. Like, I think they're really, really pretty. They truly are, and they have a beautiful shine to them. But I just feel like they could have done a little bit differently with the packaging. I feel like they could have labeled it Skin of a Killer. I feel like they could have really brought some glitter and some pow. Like, you put it on and boom, you are beaming to the heavens. I feel like they could have really done that. But they kind of just made a little safer option, which I get. Maybe they had to because of marketing. Maybe the marketing team didn't want the name Killer on a palette. I don't really know. I don't really know what goes into licensing deals. All I know is that I think these are pretty, but I just feel like they're not my favorite. And especially like when I turn my head like this, like it has like a gray cast to me. Do you guys see that right there? It looks just kind of gray. So it's really pretty. I do enjoy these, but I feel like they could have done a better job with the colors and how the packaging, and I feel like they really could have brought it if they really wanted to. Now, like I said earlier, I have nothing to say about the graphic liners because I don't use the graphic liners. I did swatch the formula. I love the metallic glitter on it. I think it's really pretty, but I don't know about the longevity. I don't know if it cracks, creases. I don't really know. They have a blue, red, and like a black green. They're pretty colors. They kind of match the actual like lip glosses, but I have nothing to say about these. And then lastly, we do have these lip glosses. We do have these lip oils. Now, I will say I love the concept of Team Edward, Team Jacob, and then Bells. They should have just called it Bella, but Bells. I think the prettiest color is the shade called Bells. I feel like this could have been so much more. I feel like this could have been like a blood red, like a liquid lip. Oh my God, that would have been absolutely freaking stunning. But instead they did these lip oils, which they're not bad, but like, they're not my favorite either because they're a lip oil. They could at least done like a really like high pigment lip gloss or a lip stain or a lipstick. But instead they went with lip oils, which I'm just like, that's cool, but like I wanted more. I really feel like they could have really brought it with their lip collection. Because then we have Team Jacob and Team Edward, where it's like a black and a blue lip oil. I don't really know where I would wear these two or what I really would pair it with unless I'm doing like a black lip. I just feel like I'm not gonna really get a use out of these two often. I understand Edward's being like kind of blue for like that like dead look lip, for like that dead cold lip. But Team Jacob, I don't really get why it's black, but that's just me. Maybe because his last name is Black. I guess that's why. But I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed with that. I just wanted more, and I feel like they could have done so much more. So overall, the full collection did retail for $99. I did spend $110 for the entire collection because of shipping, handling, and taxes and whatnot. And I have to say, I don't think it was worth it. I really don't think it was worth it. I really wanted to love this collection. I love the concept of it. I love the outside packaging of the palettes and whatnot. And I love the way that they did the unicartons for all their stuff. They really hit the idea of like Twilight and Forks. But I feel like they could have done so much more with this collection. While the formulas were great, I just feel like the overall deliverance of this was pretty disappointing. But I will give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, just maybe, because they're fitting the first aesthetics of the first movie. Maybe that's why this one was a little bit more disappointing, because I still hated the first movie, so maybe that's why I'm not connecting to this as much and I'm not a big fan. But maybe they're doing New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn, and maybe they'll bring us those colors that we want and are craving in those next collections. So I'll give them a benefit of doubt, but so far I definitely feel like this was underwhelming for me. I'm glad I have it. Because I'm a big Die Hard fan. I'm a big Die Hard Twilight fan. So I'm glad I have it for my collection. But at the same time, I definitely feel like it was a little disappointing, and I just feel like Glamlight probably could have done it better. So that is my my thoughts on this collection. Let me know down below what you guys think of this collection. Do you guys love it? Do you guys hate it? Do you guys like have no opinion on it? Let me know. I'm genuinely want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I love my look. I think I look really pretty. I think this overall came out really pretty. I just don't see Twilight in it. I don't know. Just wanted more, I guess. So that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for the Life, where you guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful paid members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.